Mr. Gaiser, would you ever advise a client to ignore a federal district court opinion?
Thank you very much, Senator Kennedy. I would advise it.
Thank me. You can thank me by answering it.
I would advise a client on how best to comply with all lawful court orders.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes, sir.
You would advise a client not to follow a federal district court opinion?
I would advise a client to follow court orders.
Would you ever advise a client not to follow a federal court of appeals decision?
I had the privilege of clerking on 2 federal courts of appeals.
Is that a yes or no?
Yes. I would advise them to follow the orders of courts of appeals.
How about Supreme Court opinion?
Yes, Senator, I would advise them to follow the Supreme Court's orders, as President Trump has been very clear that those orders are to be followed.
Mr. Woodward, let me ask you the same question. Would you ever advise a client not to follow a district court opinion?
No, Senator.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hot News Today, where we break down powerful moments in American politics. Today, we're diving into a fiery exchange from the Senate Judiciary Committee where Senator John Kennedy grilled Biden Justice Department nominees. Will you follow the law or not? Let's get into it. Senator Kennedy set the tone early. No patience for legal gymnastics. He pressed Mr. Gaiser. Would you advise a client to ignore a federal court opinion? The answer should have been simple, but we got classic DC sidestepping. Until Kennedy cut him off. Answer it. Boom, direct, no room to wiggle. No. The senator climbed the judicial ladder. Federal courts of appeals? The Supreme Court. Gaiser and Woodward affirmed they'd follow lawful orders. Kennedy's point was clear. This isn't optional. To enforce the law, you must follow it. Enter the APA, Administrative Procedure Act. Kennedy grilled them on agency rule changes. He explained the APA. Public notice, invite comments, sometimes hold hearings. This wasn't just a civics lesson, it was a trap. Can the DOJ bypass these steps if a rule is unconstitutional? Mr. Woodward stumbled. Then Kennedy dropped the key term, good cause exception, and that's when it clicked. Loper bright, the Supreme Court's move to dismantle Chevron deference. The implications? Huge.
I don't want to play games here, counsel. What would one have to do? What would the head of an agency have to do to overturn a current rule or regulation?
Well, Senator, I apologize. I know that there are many ways to do that, and I don't want to play games out. I want to answer the question.
That's fair.
There are many ways in which an agency can overturn a rule.
Well, you have to give notice, right?
As a general matter, yes, Senator.
Yeah. And you have to invite input, right?
As a general matter, yes, Senator.
Okay. And sometimes you have to hold a hearing, right?
Sometimes you do, Senator.
Yeah. Are there any exceptions to that under the Administrative Procedures Act?
Under the Administrative Procedures Act, I'm not aware of any exceptions, but there are exceptions under the law.
Are you familiar with the good cause exception to the Administrative Procedures Act?
Senator, I am vaguely familiar with that exception.
Okay. Do you know what it says?
No, Senator, I do not.
I understand.
The heart of the matter, rule of law versus rule of whatever we want. Kennedy's point was clear. If a rule is unconstitutional, you can't just ignore the law. There's a legal path. The APA provides tools like the good cause exception to act quickly. But skipping the rules, that's not how our system works. Hearings matter. They reveal if officials will use the law or bend it. Subscribe for more real talk. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We break down political fireworks every week.
Would it be prudent for the Justice Department to exercise authority under the good cause exception to the APA in the public interest and forego the rule, the notice and comment?
So, Senator, thank you. I think I now understand your question. And that is I was alluding to the non-APA process. I mean, if a rule has been promulgated that is plainly unconstitutional, it absolutely would be appropriate for the Department of Justice to look at that rule and make a determination.
But my point is, you don't have to ignore the APA to do that, do you?
I would say it depends, but I take your point.
I mean, the APA provides an exception.
Yes, Senator.
It's section 553. It's right there, big as Dallas. Am I done?
Yeah.
I thought that was maybe a mouse or something.
Senator, cool.
Conclusion. Music fades in. This hearing was a reminder that the Constitution is only as strong as those who defend it. Senator Kennedy wasn't just asking questions, he was testing integrity, judging by the squirming at the witness table. You be the judge. Thanks for watching. Stay smart, stay skeptical. See you in the next one.